Hello again, beautiful Love Vibe Tribe. I am back, and today we are going to go over a teaching or channeling of divine wisdom. So, are you a divine feminine? Are you a divine masculine? How do you know which category you fall into? How do you know which energy you harness dominantly? So, welcome everyone back to the channel. My name is Brooke. I am a twin flame in union, and Danny is my beloved divine counterpart. And today we are going to discuss how to recognize, are you a divine masculine or are you a divine feminine? And we're going to go over, in maybe a unique manner, how to understand your masculine and feminine energy. And we're going to do this through understanding our emotional body. Because looking at the emotional body and how you process emotions will indicate if you are dominantly feminine or dominantly masculine. Okay? And you may see me pause the video every now and then because I've got some notes and I've got some voice recordings that I'm going to check in with to give these messages. But with that being said, let's get started. So, when it comes to understanding whether you are divine masculine or divine feminine, the first thing we need to understand is that we are both, right? We are a beautiful harmonic balance of both. We flow within both, we exist within both, okay? It's not a gender type thing, it's a fluid, energetic essence that we are. We both have masculine, we both have feminine. And how I kind of like to look at it, how spirit likes me to look at it, is the divine feminine is the conscious observer, while the divine masculine is the conscious creator. Okay? So, when it comes to negative emotion and how you can kind of discern whether you rely on your masculine or feminine energy to channel those emotions, to process those emotions, is, for example, the divine feminine likes to take emotion and neutralize them within herself, where the divine masculine takes negative emotion and transmutes them into something else, right? So, before we get started and get too deep into that, I want you to take a look at the world and maybe some topics that you have come across within the spiritual community. And one of those is the patriarchy, right? We have somewhat of an understanding that the patriarchy, in a way, is an issue. However, some people don't really have the truth of why. It's not just men are evil or women are less than, or people still hold this belief and that's why it's that way. It's not that, as a society, we haven't evolved where we see women as equals. It's not just the belief that is the problem when it comes to the patriarchy. It is the fact that majority of humanity processes their negative emotion, any emotion, in masculine energy. Because think about it. When you are upset, when you're pissed off, when you're raging, when you're irritated, when you're depressed, when you're sad, when you're happy, when you're excited, the masculine energy is going to exercise that emotion. They're going to display it. They're going to practice in it. They're going to harness it, right? So for example, let's say you're pissed off. And the way you want to channel it is by going to the gym and beating a punching bag. That's masculine energy processing that emotion to release it. Whereas someone that sits in feminine energy is going to take that anger and go inward and neutralize it from within, which is challenging. It's not easy. And that is why why, as a collective, there is this imbalance of masculine energy, because a lot of us, we're not taught how to go within ourselves and nurture and neutralize negative emotions. And some of us, when it comes to negative or heavier emotions, we were taught to, go have a drink. We were taught to go talk to someone. We were taught to go for a walk, eat some food, have sex, exercise, dance, sing, all of these different things. And that is all masculine energy. And for the most part, that's not the issue. The masculine energy and processing emotion through the masculine is not the issue, but it's the fact that instead of, well, there's two things. One, that creates an imbalance, right? If you're only using your masculine energy and you're abandoning your feminine energy, it's going to create an imbalance in your frequency, right? So that's the first thing. And then the other thing, many of us harness our masculine energy to process emotion in unhealthy ways, in ways that are unserving, because we weren't taught how to use masculine energy with integrity. So those are the two main things that cause this toxic masculinity, this toxic patriarchy, is the fact that it's imbalanced and that we don't use it appropriately or with integrity. So the reason that I brought that up is because I want to shine some awareness and some consciousness to the fact that the patriarchy is not the issue. Men and masculinity is not the issue, but humankind, and the fact that we choose to process our emotions in an imbalanced way, or we haven't been taught how to process emotions in a healthy way. So I wanted to share that to kind of neutralize, because within the Twin Flame Collective, there is a lot of shaming and judging and condemning of the divine masculine. And for those of you that know me, but for those of you that are new, I resonate with divine masculine energy. I'm the divine masculine in my connection. Danny is more so the divine feminine. But think about it. When you are upset or you're mad, can you just sit in that emotion and go inside of yourself and bring balance to it without an external outlet, without talking to someone, without, using your body to get that energy out? Think about it. You're upset or you're mad. How? How do you neutralize that? Or any ideas coming to mind? How you can go inside of yourself and mend that imbalance or harmonize that energy, flow with that energy, flow with that wave. How do you do that? And, I've asked many people that and they don't have an answer, because we weren't really taught that, right? So let's continue. The divine feminine takes emotion and neutralizes them from within herself. The divine masculine takes emotion and transmutes them into something else. Okay? So how do you know where you sit, right? So someone that resonates with masculine energy, dominant masculine energy, is going to find it very challenging to neutralize emotions without some kind of external outlet, right? So if you find it hard to sit with anxiety, anger, grief, sadness, depression, even happiness, maybe happiness is your trigger that sends you on a path of self-destruction in ways, right? That sounds crazy, but It happens where you're feeling so good, where it's almost manic in a way, and you're not able to discern or make choices that are in alignment or that are for your best good. But someone that has a healthy masculine energy can feel anxiety and depression and anger and all of those. And even though they still need an external outlet, it's not something that is self sabotaging. It's productive, right? So, singing, going for a walk, dancing, writing in your journal, all of those kind of things are healthy. They're good for you, right? And you can function from that, but you can't always in life go and take a walk when you're upset. You can't always go listen to some music when you have anxiety. You can't always go and do something to soothe your emotion in the moment. So, being able to tap into your feminine energy and neutralize that inside yourself is really crucial when it comes to functioning as a human, right? So, someone that sits in feminine energy, I honor you because for me it has been a journey learning how to honor my emotions. But here's the thing about imbalanced feminine energy or toxic feminine energy is you don't express it externally in a healthy way or in a sabotaging way. And sometimes that can lead to bottling things up, right? I just heard some of y'all like, yep, that's me, right? Which, in my experience, even though I'm masculine, I did the same thing still. Hip heavy. Figure says, hey guys. The feminine just takes the emotion and stuffs them down, right? Creates ideas, creates belief systems, creates ideas of victim mentality, right? And all of these ideas within the mind when it comes to negative emotion, if you're not expressing it. I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. But for a person that functions through feminine energy, when you're processing your emotions, how it can be detrimental to you is you're not expressing them, but also you're bottling them up. And you are to keep them hidden, to keep those energies down, to block those emotions out, to numb yourself to what's going on inside of you. You create stories, you create belief systems, you create ideas, you become the victim, right? And all of these mental blocks, right, protect you from feeling that emotion. But then it's like that poison just sits inside of you and it bottles up and it deteriorates and it turns into poison and then it starts to seep out and you become overwhelmed, right? Or you become emotionally drained, emotionally exhausted, even sick, fatigued, depressed, right? And then, the part that's challenging for people that sit in feminine energy, especially if they haven't learned how to have a healthy feminine energy, how to process emotions internally in a healthy way, in a serving way, they find it very challenging to communicate their feelings, to express their feelings, to show emotion, to be vulnerable, right? Which is almost more challenging than having an imbalanced feminine energy is almost more challenging than having an imbalanced masculine energy, because at least the masculine is expressing it, is getting it out, is releasing it in some way, where the feminine, there's no expression of it. It's hidden. It's in the dark. No one sees it. So really, it's almost like it's impossible for you to be who you really are, right? Even though the masculine is expressing a distorted part of himself, at least he's expressing, he's present, showing it. People see it, right? Where the feminine, there's no expression. There's no red flags for anyone else to pick up on. No one really knows what you're going through. And it can feel like a really lonely journey of suffering, right? So, by understanding, and I want to keep this video short, kind of just like dropping some seeds, and then we can expand on it. And please, if you have some questions, drop them in the comments. Because if you guys let me know what it is you don't understand, or what it is you need, or what it is you're questioning, then I have a better chance of really helping, right? Of serving you when I know what you need. So, when it comes to understanding whether you process dominantly through your masculine energy or dominantly through your feminine energy, just in having the awareness of where you stand can kind of give you more tools to lighten the load when it comes to intense emotion. It can give you more tools in creating stability and a foundation within yourself that allows you to really function with more harmony in your life. And then as you're embodying more harmony, you will see that ripple out in your relationships, in, your job and stuff like that. So I'm just going to keep it short for today. And like I said, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I hope this video was helpful. I hope that it maybe gave you some awareness about how you process emotions, how you function. Maybe gave you some awareness that, maybe you have a little more work to do in your feminine, or a little more work to do in your masculine, right? Because when it comes to the spiritual awakening journey, when it comes to healing, if you don't know where you stand, how do you know what you need to heal, right? All right, please drop a like. Really helps out the channel. And I love you guys. I will see you soon. Bye.